Let's simply make the target green or red based on the game status. So I can add another style here for the target to set maybe the background color to either green or red based on the game status. So I'll make this into an array so that we can add another style. And in here, I'm going to actually use another function to compute the style of this target panel based on the game status. So let's do exactly that. Let's call this function target panel style. We can just pass the game status here directly to this target panel style so that we don't compute it again. Let me format this a little bit. And now we can write target panel style. So target panel style is a function, and this function is going to receive the game status here. So this is the game status. And based on the game status, it's going to return a style sheet. Well, you know what? I think we can do this with an easier way. Instead of introducing a new function here, undo, undo, undo. Okay, so instead of all that function logic, we can simply add a dynamic style here. You can say something like styles and dynamically pick a style based on the game status that we are working with. So let's do something like dynamic status underscore the actual game status that we have. So game status here. This would be either status playing, status won, or status lost. And we can just code a style for each one of those. So in here, we'll code these styles. So status playing, this is the default. So we can do background color, which is basically this guy. So I'm going to move it here. So the target is always the same style, except for the status. And just like this status, let's do one status for the won case and another status for the lost case. So when the status is won, let's make this green. When the status is lost, let's make it red. Very simple. Basically, instead of if statements in functions, we're using object lookup here. Let's test that. So this starts as gray, and when I win the game, it's green. And when I lose the game, it's red. Perfect. Let's now figure out how to stop selecting once the game is over, because right now we can continue selecting numbers. So I think we can simply add another condition here. The number is disabled if it's selected or if the game status is over, if the game status basically is not playing. So let's simply do that. If the game status here is not playing, we cannot play this, right? Let me just format everything here a little quick and let's test. We can play green, all the numbers are disabled and we can't play. Very good. Let's try it the other way. Perfect. So we can only play if the game status is playing. So with this, we are actually wrapping up an MVP of this game. Before we move on to another example, this app has plenty of room for enhancements and optimization, and I'd like to show you some of those optimizations. But to highlight an optimization problem before we solve it, let's introduce one more feature to this game. Let's make the game limited in time. The player has only 10 seconds to solve the challenge. After that, the game should be over automatically. We'll do that in the next video.